Good evening. My name is LaQueen Edmonds. This is my presentation for Interpersonal Communication Project for Dr. Neil Gilliand. Interpersonal communication is when communicators give or receive and talk and listen in ways that emphasize their uniqueness, non-measurability, responsiveness, reflectiveness, and addressability. Then the communication between them is interpersonal. My overarching goal is to become more in tune with myself so that I'm able to help and effectively communicate with others. So as I become more in tune with myself, I'll be able to help others. My inner goals and who I want to be once I come in tune with myself, I can be able to help them and decide what they want to be and be a more effective counselor. Enlarging the conversation. If we experience mainly distant, objective, impersonal communicating, we're liable to grow up pretty one-sided. But if we experience our share of close, supportive, impersonal communicating, we're likely to develop more of our human potential. And that was from Stewart. What I took from this quote is that if we only take our own judgment on things, then we'll never get to know others. So getting to know people and communicating with others is very important. Overarching goal, enlarging the conversation in my life. When taking a look at enlarging the conversation with the overarching goal in my life, I see this as having to take a step back, figuring out myself and who I am. I also feel that what Stewart is saying can be secluded to self and one-sided, but if we communicate with others and see the diversity in the world, then we can maximize our self-potential. So if we communicate with others to get to know people, we can maximize things about ourselves. We learn from others. So learning from someone else, you may figure out what you really want to be or what you might want to do, or just change your outlook on life as well. My background, I'm a female. I'm African American. I'm educated. I come from a single parent home. I have one son. I'm hardworking. I'm independent. I'm the third of four sisters. I'm determined. Negative influences are I'm impatient with my life goals. Scared of losing in life, easily stressed, and I'm defensive. Positive influences, I'm God-driven, family-oriented, morals and values, I have those, listener, and I'm a team player. Behavioral blend. So behavioral blend is the way people think, feel, and make decisions and relate to others. So how you relate to one another, how you think about things, how you feel about things, your emotions is your behavioral blend. So it's kind of like the gist of who you are, but it's more of I guess you could say a more professional tone. So I'm going to go over that. One method for describing personality is through the DISC model. The DISC model breaks down personality into four basic categories. So D is the active and task-oriented. I is the active and people-oriented. C is the passive and task-oriented. And S is passive and people-oriented. So this is just a little picture of it, which came out of Carbonell. And I think I fall more closely under the active, people-oriented category. I love to inspire, help, and encourage people. I'm really good with people, and I love interacting with them. At times, I also have some characteristics from the passive and task-oriented side as well, because depending on the situation, I'm also a very cautious and careful person as well. So I think I have a little bit of both. I can be a cautious, careful, quiet person, or I can be an active, outgoing person. The behavior blend assessment. The assessment demonstrated that I am SCI, going back to the DISC behavior blend model, which means I tend to be more passive than active, could be the case. I'm great with people. I'm a mix between outgoing and the life of the party. Behavior blend positive influence. I like to influence and interact with people. I'm friendly, enthusiastic, cordial, not pushy or controlling, prefer peace and harmony, and don't have to be in charge. So I don't have to be like the boss all the time. Behavior blend negative influences. Lack of assertiveness and aggressiveness. Think too much, which is very true. I overthink everything. Worry more than others. I do worry a lot. I let my emotions control me sometimes. Potential barriers in the interpersonal context, communication walls, past experiences, unable to express ideas, not paying attention, speaking too soon, uninterested in the conversation, and fatigue. So what this is saying is different things that come between you and the listener and the talker. So communication walls, such as past experiences with that person that can interfere, unable to express ideas, and you're not paying attention to them, so you can't even understand what they're talking about because you're not paying attention. Speaking too soon. So if they're speaking and you talking over them or kind of cutting them off, and you're not interested in the conversation, if you're not interested, it's kind of hard to pay attention. And fatigue, so tiredness. I think I'm guilty of that. When I'm tired, it's kind of hard for me to focus. Solutions to potential barriers. Develop ways to communicate your ideas using selective words. Leave past experiences in the past. So don't judge them based on past experiences. Leave them there so that you cannot have such a, I guess, a judgmental or stereotypical look at them. Try different routes to express your ideas. Speak after the talker only. So speak after they're done talking and when it's your turn to be spoken to. Get rest before listening to a conversation. Noise pollution. Noise pollution is different things that leads us to be distracted from listening to the speaker. The different types of noise pollution is internal noise pollution and external noise pollution. So I am distracted. Like if I'm listening to somebody, if they open the door, somebody opens the door or drop something, I'm always looking that way, or I'll just draw my attention towards that. So I'm guilty of that as well. Internal noise pollution is focusing on yourself, emotions, hearing what you want instead of what the person really said, misinterpreting the talker's words. So if you're focused on yourself while they're talking, that's internal noise pollution. Or if you're focused on your emotions and things like that. Solutions to your internal noise pollution is focus on the subject at hand. Don't let your emotions determine your outcome. And do not assume, ask questions, or take notes. External noise pollution. Talker not speaking loudly or whispering. Room temperature, how the person is dressed, phone calls, distractions that are outside, and talker's tone of voice. So if you got like a little really squeaky voice, that's going to be annoying, so it's kind of hard for people to pay attention. If your voice is too loud, that could be annoying as well. Distractions that are outside, phone calls if the phone is ringing, how the person is dressed, you're looking at their clothes or their hair or something like that, their appearance, rather than paying attention. Solutions to that, the external noise pollution, is adjust your layers of clothing. So if you're hot, the temperature, if it's hot in there, you can take something off. If it's cold, you can add your sweater on. Focus on subject instead of outer appearance. Close door or window, and ask speaker to speak louder or maybe tone down a little bit. Inhaling to explore interpersonal communication. According to Stewart, inhaling is perceiving and listening. A capable listener, like a midwife, helps people give birth to the feelings and thoughts inside them. I thought that was a great quote. I actually read that a couple times. I thought that was really, really good. So I'm going to read it again. A capable listener, like a midwife, helps people give birth to the feelings and thoughts inside of them. So what it said is that if you're a listener, then you will help them develop their feelings and thoughts a little bit more. So because they have that ear, that person listening to them. So that will continue them to go on, dig deeper inside themselves, and just kind of exhale what they're going through. Exhaling to explore interpersonal communication. Exhaling is expressing and disclosing yourself to someone else. Effective self-disclosure builds relationships by revealing your reactions to events you are both going through or to what the other person says or does. So if you meet somebody, or say you didn't just meet them, sister, cousin, brother, any kind of family member or friend, 9 times out of 10, when you both are going through the same thing, it's easier to relate to each other. So after they talk, you self-disclose like, wow, I went through the same thing, and you can have a better bond. Action plan. To become a more effective listener, to take time to establish solid future goals, think less, develop solid plans so that I do not have to worry as much, and don't let my emotions control me. My conclusion. I really enjoyed this course. I learned a lot about noticed my strengths and weaknesses. I've also learned that the